Today I'm going to teach you how to make the Simply Striped crochet coaster. This project works up really quick, so it makes it great as a last-minute item to stock your markets or to give as a gift. If you do better when you can follow along with written instructions, I've pinned the links to both the PDF version and the free version of this pattern in the first comment. Let's talk about what you're going to need to make this. First, you're going to need about 18 yards per coaster of a worsted weight cotton yarn. I used Karen all day cotton yarn. I like this yarn a lot because it's mercerized, so it makes the stitches stand out really well. If you're going to make 4 coasters and the coaster holder, that's going to end up being about 115 yards of yarn that you'll need. You're also going to need a G hook or a 4.25 millimeter hook, some scissors, and a tapestry needle for weaving in your ends. I really like to use the tapestry needle that is bent on the end because it makes it easier for weaving the ends into a circle. Let's get started. We're going to start by making a magic ring or a magic circle. I'm going to show you my method, but there's lots of ways to go about this, so feel free to use your own method. I start by pinching the end of my yarn between my thumb and my fingers. We're going to take the rest of the yarn and wrap it around our fingers. And when we come back to our thumb, we're going to cross it there. It's really important that this part of the yarn ends up being on the side that's closer to our knuckles when we work. So crossing it here accomplishes that. But this yarn here is going to tuck underneath our thumb as well. So for these 2 strands, what we're going to do is insert our hook underneath the one closest to our fingertips and reach it towards the one that's closer to our knuckles and pull it this direction until we have it twisted onto the hook. Then you're going to go back to the yarn that was closest to our knuckles and reach and grab it like this. And we're going to be pulling it through this loop on our hook. So we can kind of let go of everything else on the hook at this point, so it's easier to use our fingers to work with the loops we have. Pull it through, and then we have our magic ring. So now when you tug here, it tightens and loosens the magic ring. We're going to start the coaster by chaining 1, and then we're going to work 10 half double crochet stitches into our magic ring. So we'll yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull a loop through all 3 loops that were on our hook. And that's 1 half double crochet. We're going to do that 9 more times. Okay, so once you have your 10 half double crochet stitches on your hook, you're going to want to tighten this up to make it into a circle. So you just pull on that starting yarn here until it's nice and tight in the middle. And then we're going to work a slip stitch into the first half double crochet stitch of that round to connect it all together. And that's round 1. For round 2, we're going to work a row of slip stitches all the way around the first set of half double crochet stitches that we made. So we're going to find the second half double crochet because we already slip stitched into the first one. And we're going to insert our hook there and pull a slip stitch through. Next stitch, slip stitch, and so on. Now, once you've gone all the way around and you've made 10 slip stitches, what we're going to do is slip stitch back into the first half double crochet of round 1, which is behind the slip stitches we just made. That's this one right here, to link it back in. What we're going to do for round 3 is work 2 half double crochet stitches into each of the half double crochet stitches from round 1 so that we increase the size of our coaster. So we started with a chain 1, and then we're going to work 2 half double crochet stitches in each stitch. And we should end with 20 stitches by the end of this round. So that's our 20 stitches. And then we're going to slip stitch back into the first half double crochet stitch of that same round. Round 4 is another round of slip stitches all the way around, so I'm going to work that now. All right, so we're going to keep the same increase going for round 5 by chaining 1, and then we're going to go back and forth between working 1 half double crochet stitch in one stitch and then 2 half double crochet stitches in the next stitch, back and forth for the whole round. So let's do that now. We're going to work 1 half double crochet stitch here in that same stitch we just slip stitched into, and then we're going to work 2 into the next one. 1, 2, and so on until you have 30 half double crochet stitches at the end of the round. Round 6 is another round of slip stitches, so I'm going to work those. Okay, now it's time for round 7, and we're going to work an additional increase round by stitching 1 half double crochet stitch in 2 different stitches, and then working 2 half double crochet stitches in the next stitch. So 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, all the way around. Chain 1, half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. At the end of this round, we should have 40 half double crochet stitches. You probably guessed it by now, but for round 8, you're going to work a slip stitch in each of the half double crochets from the previous round. Round 9 is our last round of increases. So we're going to start by chaining 1 and then working 3 half double crochet stitches, 1 in each stitch, and then 2 half double crochet stitches in the next. So 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and then 2 half double crochet. You're going to repeat that all the way around, and by the time we're finished with the round, we'll have 50 half double crochet stitches. Okay, and to give our coasters a nice finish, we're just going to do one last slip stitch round, and then we'll be all done. And now we have one coaster finished. If you're making the coaster holder too, it's made to fit 4 of these coasters, so you can go ahead and repeat the same steps we just did 3 more times to make your other coasters. But I'm going to move on to the coaster holder. You'll actually work the same first 9 rows, which is what we have worked here aside from the slip stitch row, to make the base of the coaster holder. So go ahead and act like you're making a 5th coaster up to round 9. And for round 10, you're going to do the same round of slip stitches, just without fastening off and weaving in your ends at the end. What we're going to do to make the walls of the coaster holder is work in the front loop only of round 9 of these half double crochet stitches. So we'll start by chaining 1 and half double crochet into this side of your stitch. That's the front loop. The one closer to my finger over here is the back loop. So half double crochet just right here. That's going to allow the walls to sit up a little bit easier when we start working. So this is going to be the bottom of your work. The walls will build up this direction. So we're going to keep working in this front loop only. All the way around. And you'll still have 50 half double crochet stitches when you're done. After working round 11, you can see that our coaster holder is starting to take shape. What we're going to do to finish off the round is slip stitch into the first half double crochet stitch of round 11. There we go. And just like you were doing to make the coasters, you're going to alternate working slip stitch rounds and half double crochet rounds to keep making that striped effect that we were getting on the coaster. So for round 12, I'm going to work a round of slip stitches. Round 13 is another round of half double crochets, and we're only going to work one half double crochet stitch in each of the half double crochet stitches from round 11. So we're going to chain one and then half double crochet in that same stitch, and then we're going to work a half double crochet stitch into that same space all the way around. Since we're just working one stitch in each stitch from round 11, it's just going to keep growing up instead of out, which is what we want at this point. So that's row 13. Now the last 3 rows are just going to be a repeat of what we've already done. So rounds 14, 15, and 16 are going to be a slip stitch row, a half double crochet row, and then another slip stitch row. Okay, so this is what it looks like after round 16 is completed. Now we just need to fasten off and weave in our ends, and then we're all done. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future patterns I release. Thank you.